I'm not paid to be a role model. I'm paid to wreak havoc on the basketball court.
Here's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up. Yes!
Is it the shoes?
I was going to rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been.
One of the world's most talented athletes is retiring. It is true what somebody said today. There was Babe Ruth and Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky.
Gretzky in front. Saved by Flaherty. The rebound. Score!
Favre just threw it perfectly right over him to Corey Bradford. Only Brett Favre could do that. I don't care what you say.
This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Game on! Game on!
Welcome, everyone, to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Lovely Tuesday afternoon. It's pretty chilly out, actually, Josh. Finally cold weather starting to hit a little bit. So, host for today, Braden Daniela, joined by, as Nico would say, the incredible, sexy, the one and only Josh Umahi. How are you?
How are we doing, Braden? I am good. It's looking up for New York sports. Well, if you're a Giants fan, I'll say. If you're a Jets fan,
yeah, don't get me started.
Might be a little slow for you.
You might have to rant a little bit later.
I'd be surprised if you didn't.
Yeah, well, I can assure you I will. Nico Each, how are you?
Packers keep winning games. I'm pissed.
Let's go. What do you mean you pissed?
I'm pissed.
We're gonna talk about Nico's Packers in a bit, as I have down here. But
Jordan Love to the Saints 2023. That's what I'm talking about. Come on now.
No Red Rocket.
I'm not doing this today.
Oh,
this is not happening.
Okay.
No Red Rocket. No Red Rocket.
No. Andy Dalton is playing okay, but I want a young, talented, rocket-arm quarterback that hasn't started. It's only started one game. I would like that. Sat on the Aaron Rodgers a few years.
Franz Compare, how are you?
I'm good, Braden. I'm good. My teams are winning.
That's good. Always good. 516-572-7440 is the number to call. Give us your opinions. We're going to start with the NFL. We're going to start with the Giants. Why not? So it was a big weekend for the NFL. Week 15 is now in the books. Pivotal weekend for both New York football teams. Both teams still fighting. Well, I can't really say the Jets are fighting anymore, but they're going to have to. Still fighting for playoff spots. Giants took a huge step toward what they're hoping will be their first playoff appearance since the 2016 season. On Sunday Night Football, Giants defeat the Commanders. Final score 20-12. Giants, they didn't produce a lot offensively in this game, but they only passed for 160 yards. Luckily, they got a touchdown from Saquon, and Giants rookie Kayvon Thibodeau with a strip sack of Taylor Heineke returned the fumble for a touchdown. Giants are 8-5-1 on the season. Will travel to Minnesota this Saturday, face the 11-3, which I really don't know what to make of them anymore, the Minnesota Vikings. Franz, Giants fan in the room, how are you feeling after this weekend?
After this weekend, I feel like we were discussing it on the last show with the schedule coming up. We got the Colts, the Vikings, and the Eagles. So I feel good coming up because 2 out of those 3 games I feel like we can win. I'm still a little iffy about the Vikings. I think we should secure the Eagles because they should be resting their starters, and Gardner Minshew will be at quarterback. Not that he's trash or anything, but it's not Jalen Hurts. But yeah, I'm feeling good about these next couple of games coming up. But as for the way we played against the Commanders, I'm not fully happy with the way we played against the Commanders. Secondary was getting violated. In the first half, Brian Robinson was doing his thing. He was going off on us. They kind of strayed away from that run game later on in the game. As for the Commanders, so little things like that I'm kind of worried about. The running game didn't open up late until in the game for Saquon, so I think it's obviously things that always happen every week. I hope it can change in these last 3 games, but with this team you can never count on them for anything. So I feel good obviously that we got the win, but it's still a little nerve-wracking in these next 3 games because they are clutch. So hopefully they can thug it out and win at least 2 out of the 3.
And I got to ask you also, because I asked Antonio, who I already know his opinion on this. Well, first off, do you think this team can make the playoffs? It'll transition to my next question. Do you think this team can make it?
Yes, I think this team can make it. Being that we really haven't had much consistency and we've had holes throughout the whole season, injury problems, and we made it this far, I do think this is a team that can make that push to make the playoffs. Now, when we get there, can we do anything? No, I would say no. That's just me being real. But as for the question, can we make it? Yeah, I do believe we can make that push to make it.
And I asked Antonio this last week, and he's pretty hell-bent. He doesn't like what he sees from the Giants. I mean, I'm not going to be here this day. Actually, Josh, you're going to be proud. I'm going to the Jets game Thursday, so I'm going to be able to watch probably a homicide take place at MetLife, and I don't think it's going to be the Jets committing the homicide.
I wouldn't say homicide. I mean, you got a red-hot Jaguars offense against, a Jets defense that's very, very good, but the offense is struggling, obviously. This is Trevor Lawrence versus Zach Wilson is not the matchup you want. Maybe not a homicide. Maybe like a calm, 21-9. Look at calm, fake close game.
Nah. Homicide.
Homicide.
You're going against a top 10 quarterback right now.
I mean, I can't disagree, but maybe I'm giving the Jets defense way too much credit, but I just think that...
I mean, they've given this team a chance to win, the last 12 weeks, essentially, dating back to week 3.
Yeah.
But they're on the field way too much now.
Most times.
That's what happens when you have a crappy offense,
exactly.
Nico. That's what happens when you have an offense that has a massive questions around quarterback that has lost their top running back. I mean, of course they're going to be on the field. I mean, and the funniest part is they're not even giving up most of the points. The special teams is giving up points because no one knows how to make a tackle. I mean,
we've said multiple times on this show, we can't even fault the entire offense. Most times it's been that.
So it's really quarterback. Yeah, and that wasn't the problem this weekend. The problem this weekend was the run game, which I don't even, Well,
you got to take into account, the Jets have been running the ball well. They've been running the ball well most of the season. I know Breece Hall was, automatic good game at the running back position. Then he gets hurt. Trade for James Robinson, that doesn't work out. You go to the rookie Zonovan Knight. He's played well until last week. We knew the Lions were going to stop the run. We knew they were going to challenge Zach Wilson to throw the ball. And that's the most frustrating thing about the Zach Wilson thing, because the Lions, we talked about it on Friday, their secondary was ranked last in the league. If you can't put up points, and I know he had 317 yards, yay, golf clap, yay, I'm so happy for Zach
about
Wilson.
Damn time.
But it was... I mean, if you watch the game, he completed only 50% of his passes. Against that secondary, that's inexcusable. So I don't know if it was windy again for Zach Wilson. I don't know.
Get me. No,
I don't know.
No, I don't want to hear any more excuses. I'm sick of the damn excuses.
Well, it's what you have, because I don't know if Mike White and his broken ribs.
He's probably not going to play Thursday. I think they've announced Zach as the starter, which...
Yes.
Yeah, let's save it, because I need to go off on this team in just a moment. But Franz, I forgot. I got sidetracked. I want to go back to you with the Giants. So say this team misses the playoffs, they make the playoffs, they don't go anywhere. Is there a scenario where you look at it like this season is a failure from a Giants fan perspective? Because Antonio's always saying, well, if they don't win a Super Bowl, which I don't think they're going to, the season is a failure. So what to you signifies the season might be a failure? Or is that not possible at this point because how much they've overachieved, I guess you could say?
Yeah, I don't think this season would be a failure. I think we showed that there's some fight in this team. We know we got Joe Shane and we got Dable, which we know are our guys.
Yeah, definitely.
So moving forward, I'm really excited to see what they could do with the organization. So I wouldn't see this as a failure. I see this as two guys who came into a crappy situation and turned everything around. The culture is different in the locker room. So going into the offseason, though, they got a lot of work to do. Like I mentioned, so many holes. So, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say I'm disappointed as a fan. I'm happy that we got, our 8 wins so far. I was never expecting that in a million years, 8 wins from this New York Giants team. So, not only did they bring some wins to the table, but they also brought some hope for the future. So, I'm really happy with this organization and the steps they took this year. So,
and the thing about it, you also see, because everyone only talks about the Giants and them having no, I guess, skill position players. I mean, you have to look at if they had a roster, maybe even a few players from the Jets roster, either defense or offense, this probably could be a team that has over 10 wins right now. But they look good, man. Like I said, you probably have one of the best coaches in the league right now, Brian Dable, and Joe Shane obviously doing great work up there in the front office. So it'll be interesting to see. Let's transition to I don't even want to. Well, the best defense in the NFL, led by one of the most, I don't want to say questionable offenses, but one of the most questionable quarterback carousels, I guess you could say, in the NFL. So, unlike the Giants, Jets did not handle their business at MetLife this weekend against the Detroit Lions, which, and now you want to talk about, I don't want to say a win or go home, but now every game is that for the Jets, and I don't even want to ponder the fact with what their schedule looks like. But Zach Wilson, after spending the last 3 weeks on the bench, wasn't even active. Actually, I ranted on him during the game. The one mistake I hated, Josh, is the opening of the second half, because tie going into halftime, everything looks fine. We get the ball back. Well, we get the ball at the half, and then, like what we saw with New England the first time they played, just throwing an absolute duck for a interception, and then the defense obviously busts its ass to keep the Lions to 3 points. But other than that, he did okay. I mean, not great. 18 for 35, 317 passing yards, which we should have, which I should expect against the Lions defense, but especially their secondary. But I'm not even gonna assume anything less with Zach Wilson anymore. He threw 2 touchdowns, both to C.J. Uzomah, who finally got involved offensively, and that crucial interception, like we mentioned. Jets running game struggled. Zonovan Knight, Michael Carter only combined to rush for 38 yards on a combined 17 carries. Proved not to be enough. Jets defense did all they could, but they cracked, allowing a 51-yard touchdown to Brock Wright with a minute 41 left, or a minute 49 left in regulation. Stood up in the Lions' 20-17 win over the Jets. You want to know what annoys me the most about it, though?
Sure.
What annoys me the most is then they have to give me this false hope, like what the Mets did to me. They have to make me believe that there's a chance that they're going to find a way to pull a win out of their ass or get it to overtime, because Zach Wilson makes this Houdini play, rolling out of the pocket, throwing the ball down the field. Saleh is skipping down the sideline to call a timeout. And to be honest, I didn't expect Zerline to nail that field goal anyway. You want to know the funny thing about it, Josh? You're going to love this. So one of my friends, and we have a group chat with all the Jets fans in it. Mm-hmm. And this kid on the 4th and inches, I text in the group chat, I was like, if the Jets get a stop here, I might cry. And one of these kids texts back, he's like, this is where boys become men. And I text back, I hope so. The very next play, what do you think happens? Yeah. So I don't know. And you want to know what the most annoying part about this is? You could give me all the excuses about how young this team is, and they are. They probably have one of the youngest and best defenses in the NFL, if not the best. And it circles back to, forget about the offense. Look at the last 3 weeks. The Jets weren't out of any of these games. You could probably make the argument they should have won all of them.
Right.
And they found a way to, I don't want to say piss them away, but, I mean, look at the game against Minnesota. I mean, Barrios dropping that touchdown, then you throw an interception on the final play of the game. The Bills just, Mike White gets drilled in the ribs, twice, I think it was?
I love that they were using the Jets offense and Mike LaFleur. They were really committed to using Braxton Berrios like prime Percy Harvin.
Oh, God.
That's the funniest thing ever to be. Like, who's Braxton Berrios? Like, he's a fine young slot wide receiver.
Yeah, he's your return guy, but that's about it.
Well, why is he getting all the gadget plays ahead of Elijah Moore, though?
I don't know. I don't. The more this season goes along, the more, because at the beginning of the season, everyone was like, Zach Wilson's the guy. This is great. Nothing's wrong. And then it was like, oh, Mike LaFleur, everyone wants his head. And I wasn't on that train just yet. But it's like, the red zone offense is abysmal. Let's not even get into that.
Yeah. Well, a big reason was that what I just said. They're committed to using the wrong guys. I mean, in the red zone, you want to go to your best players. I mean, maybe give Garrett Wilson a little more opportunity.
I don't know why he wasn't getting the ball more. He had, I think it was, four receptions and 98 yards. Yeah, no big deal. God forbid you use him more.
And Zach Wilson missed a few chances to get him the ball, too. So,
yep. Well,
you look at the Jets, I mean, what can you say? I mean, you pretty much covered it, how the game went. Zach Wilson. One thing that Steve Young said about Zach Wilson was that he was kind of sticking up for him, being like, oh, how many quarterbacks have the potential to pick up that 4th and 18? I mean, you got to roll with that and try to coach him up. Well, the Jets have tried everything to coach him up. If it's not going to work, it's not going to work.
There's no excuses anymore. I'm sick of I'm sick of the excuses, Josh. When do they end? Well, we had all the excuses with Sanchez. Don't even get me started with Darnold and Geno Smith because of Adam Gase. What does Wilson have? He has no excuses. Look at his offense. Because I say the offense sucks, and really I shouldn't say that because it's just the questions at quarterback. That's really it. That's what's holding this offense back, probably. So I really don't know. And it's such. I never thought. I honestly know. I did know I was going to be saying this come week 15. Only the Jets. Only the Jets could be 6-3 and then find a way to, Zach Wilson just completely, wetting the bed against New England the second time, that 10-3 loss, which led to him getting benched. Honestly, I was the coin flip now reversed for the second half of the season for the Jets? Because
ever since we stopped gracefully keeping up with that stupid ass coin flip, I don't even know. After they finally broke the trend, I'm like, all right, I don't need to pay attention.
They broke the trend now. Yeah, they're breaking it every week now.
If only you guys lost 2 more games 2 years ago.
That's the funniest thing. I text one of my friends texted me about in the same group chat. He was like, it was like 2 years ago the Jets beat like the Rams or something, and that led to, I was like, it's okay, we have Zach Wilson, but I left like a dash after Will, and I was like, oh, like, can't say it on air.
The boy had one good pro day throw, and he sent the NFL into a frenzy.
It's crazy looking back on it. Like, Trevor Lawrence, you couldn't get him, but you could have had Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, like, I'm going to walk y'all through it again. Like, Justin Fields was this decorated college quarterback from Ohio State.
Fell so far.
Like, just everybody loved this kid. And then when it was time to, go to the draft process, like Nico just said, Zach Wilson, one little throw, and from BYU. You're gonna pick the project from BYU over the multiple time proven to the college football playoff Justin Fields. I wonder what was going through the Jets' minds when they made it.
It's really Trubisky 2.0.
It might honestly.
Exactly. It's crazy, and it's funny because Zach Wilson has twice the potential that Mitchell Trubisky had, but he's somehow worse. He's worse than Mitchell Trubisky. Let's call for what it is.
Dude, Josh, any other QB, maybe the last, I don't want to say, forget about the New England game. Then
both New England games.
Yeah, both New England games. Say they win those 2 games. Instead of 7-7, what are they? 9-5?
9-5, and you're probably, sleepwalking into the playoffs.
Then this team doesn't have to win out. Then they don't have to beat Jacksonville Thursday night, which I just have no confidence. Let's not even get.
Why would you buy tickets to that game?
Huh?
Why would you buy tickets to that game?
Well, you see, we planned this trip when the Jets were good, Nico. That's the problem. That's the problem.
That's a mistake.
We did it when the whole roster was healthy. Like week 5's like, the New York Jets, they're going to be great. Week 7, like
Thursday night against T-Law.
Yeah,
what you want?
You're playing with fire right there.
Well, this was also when T-Law wasn't doing great either.
When was T-Law doing terrible this year? Let me know. Point out the games.
I didn't say he was doing terrible.
He's had a great season.
He just, quite frankly, wasn't him yet. No, Jacksonville probably will beat us because now Detroit's trying. All the teams that are looking to be in the playoff hunt are just going to beat the Jets. But if that wasn't hard enough, then we have to go to Seattle on New Year's Day, and then we have to finish off in Miami.
Oh, y'all cooked.
You're done. You're losing out.
They have to.
You're losing out.
Not even if they lose out. They're just not winning out, and that's the only way this team is making it because the Chargers aren't losing. The Patriots, at least the Jets can laugh at the Patriots. Nope, we're still in last place. Great. Just freaking great.
Hold on, I have so ESPN has the playoff odds for the AFC.
It's not like 27% for the Jets.
Oh, they're above the Jets.
Let's go,
Let me read them off real quick. So you have the Chargers, who come from nowhere at 93.5 to make the playoffs. They're the 5 seed right now. The Miami Dolphins at 74.3%, so they like Tua to make it. Makes sense. The Titans 57% and the Jaguars 42.9%, but mostly that has to do with the AFC South. Then you go to 14.4% the New England Patriots, and then 13.2%. The team that was 6-3 and taking the league by storm, the New York Jets at 13.2%. So they must have been at
this is why
75% 3 weeks ago.
Is why. This is why I sit here. And you know what, Dom, I love you, but I told you this was going to happen. I told you this was going to happen. I told you that because this team is so questionable at quarterback that what was going to happen, this team was going to fall flat on its ass. And what has happened? Josh, what happened? What happened, Josh? Tell me what happened.
No,
don't. Nico, what happened?
What happened?
What happened?
Y'all suck ass. That's what happened.
Exactly.
Putting it kindly,
And you know what? I'm going to be the idiot that sits here at the end of every year. Oh, next year. Nah, I've been waiting for next year for the last 12 years.
To be quite honest, Tyler Huntley could run that Jets offense like crazy.
Anyone could run the Jets offense. Like you could run the Jets offense better than Zach Wilson.
Maybe even Trace McSorley at this point.
Lou McSorley?
Yeah. Is Trace McSorley, is he going to start for Arizona this week?
Seems like it.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't put Colt McCoy out there.
Nah.
Actually, you know what? You're not even making the playoffs. Put anyone. Put D-Hop.
Put D-Hop at QB.
Put D-Hop at QB. Why not?
I just, like I said, only the Jets. Because then, we switch up the QBs, and you know what? Like I said, I'm sick of waiting. I don't care that they're young. I don't care. I wanted playoffs and
Jump ship, Braden.
To what?
Better team. Like the Jacksonville
Green Bay
Jaguars.
Packers.
Jacksonville Jaguars, baby.
Are you a Jacksonville fan now?
What do you mean now? Where have you been all season?
Well,
he's been on Trevor Lawrence since day one. I can verify that.
I make I really make poor life decisions. I really do. I'm a Mets fan and a Jets fan. The Rangers save my ass every season. Thank God for that. I'm so miserable. I hate this. I don't even want to talk about this as Josh stares at me with that wise ass smirk on his face.
It's funny.
It's hilarious, actually.
It's funny
this is trash,
because
bro.
like
It sucks to see you like this, Braden.
yeah, I
No, it does. I deserve this. Honestly,
I think it's pretty funny.
You know what? The Jets, yeah, I'm going to give you some copium right now because nobody saw this team really doing anything. We said at the start of the season, we don't care how the Jets do as long as Zach Wilson shows potential.
Oh, well,
a little bit, and it's like you're in position to make the playoffs, but Zach Wilson sucks, and he's probably going to cost y'all a playoff spot. But it's okay. Remember back to the expectations of the start of the year when you were not expected to do anything.
Don't tell me it's going to be okay.
Listen,
it's not going to be okay.
There's going to be quarterbacks available. You might have
because you know what? Because all the Zach Wilson fanboys are so hell-bent, and I'm pretty sure that,
Who's a Zach Wilson fanboy?
A bunch of people.
Genuinely, I have not seen one person
Nico,
besides Salah support this man.
No. There's other people. There's people in my group chat that are Jets fans that are convinced that Zach Wilson is still the savior of this franchise.
He's friends with Corey-level Jets fans right now. That's the craziest part.
Well, that's probably the That's probably the problem. But there are actually people that still believe in this 15-year-old boy that we have at QB, and I really don't know how you do it anymore.
Just really speaks volume of your fan base, to be quite honest.
What, the fan base that is so desperate to believe anything because we haven't seen the playoffs in over a decade?
Yeah. Longest playoff drought in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Just saying.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
Misery loves company, bro. Hey, I can't even say that because the Saints.
No, because Saints can win the division.
The Saints can still win their division. The Saints can still win their division because Tom Brady is thinking about Giselle on the sideline more than throwing a football. Yeah. Unfortunately,
poor Tom.
No, not poor. Actually,
maybe he can take up jiu-jitsu as a second career.
Why? So he could become the Chris Brown of the NFL.
I feel like there's a lot of other people in the NFL that would be on that list already.
Well,
like a lot.
Yeah. He'd be the latest edition.
At least 100.
He'd be the latest edition.
At least 100.
At least 100 players in the NFL right now would be on that list.
Listen, eating a CTE sandwich every week isn't good for you.
Definitely not.
It's not good.
We'll get to Monday Night Football next, but just want to remind everyone you're listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Braden Daniela with Josh Umahi, Nico Each, and Franz Compare. Let's all right, so Monday Night Football. Green Bay defeats LA, final score 24-12. Aaron Rodgers actually had a Nico.
Bad game.
He's back.
No.
He's so back.
I hate you so much.
He's back.
Listen, I got an agenda to push now. I'm not the one telling the Packers to win these meaningless. I can't even call them meaningless because y'all are still in the playoff chase.
Imagine they trade Jordan Love.
I need to see this draft order right now.
Imagine they trade Jordan Love and then they're stuck with Rodgers.
If they trade Jordan Love
to the Saints,
I will 1,000% jump ship to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I will be a full-time Jaguars fan. I doubt that. I swear to God.
The one good thing about
he will.
I would. I cannot stand a stupid idiot GM like Brian Gutekunst doing that.
Bro, trading Jordan Love would be the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah, it would.
Bro, I'd personally
be the biggest mistake in NFL history.
Bro, I'd submit my application for the GM spot because even I wouldn't do that, bro.
No sane person would.
Nico, it's good. Don't worry. Jordan Love's going to get traded. Aaron's going to retire, and then Brett Favre will come out of retirement to save Green Bay, right?
I hope he goes to jail. So I really don't hope.
We're not talking about that.
No, we're not. Nobody talks about that. Brett Favre is a terrible human.
Is he though?
He will He be finding a way to make a buck, bro.
Mississippi Homes. He's a bad man.
Yo, you know what? The Copperfit commercials weren't hitting no more.
I forgot he was on Copperfit.
Man, he was on the Wranglers commercials too. Like, he was.
It wasn't cutting it, bro.
Yeah, he's
Packers have
the NFL
14th
Shaq.
pick. The Packers have the 14th pick. They have the 14th pick.
Nico, the one good thing I think you loved about probably did you watch last night's game?
No.
Oh. Well, they ran the ball a lot, and it actually worked. A.J. Dillon, I know it's week 15, but he's finally running the ball into the end zone, so that's good.
Yeah, look at that. Matt LaFleur woke up. What a surprise. You run the damn ball and you win games. Who would have thunk it? But let's talk about
Obviously
that Aaron Rodgers
Matt LaFleur.
interception. That was one of the worst interceptions I think I've ever seen in my life.
Well, also, I think that was just miscommunication.
Miscommunication?
Also.
He overthrew Christian Watson by a mile.
Well,
that was a terrible throw. I've never seen that from that man.
You know what's funny about that, too? Aaron Rodgers after the game's like, if you want to catch touchdowns, you run the right routes.
Well, he was also
you run the right route.
Why are you throwing it if you know he's running the wrong route?
YOLO, I guess.
Who does that? Not Jordan Love. I'll tell you that right now.
Hey, man.
F it, Watson's down there somewhere. That's that mentality.
God, at least they released Sammy Watkins.
Yeah.
A dude's a gravestone with legs.
Nico, I know you haven't been high on the Packers this season.
No, I have not. I've been very low.
Obviously.
We can tell.
What'd you like the most about last night's win over
They ran the damn ball.
Is that it?
They ran the ball when they needed to.
So
that's all they needed to do all season. If they did this all season, this record would be a lot different. Aaron Rodgers still be ass, but they would have a winning record.
So playoffs, let's ride.
No. No. Because if they make the playoffs, A-Rod's back next season.
I think he's going to be back. You really have convinced yourself that Jordan Love is going to be the starter at some point. They're going to trade him. They're going to.
I'm not.
It's going to happen.
I can't listen to a miserable Jets fan right now.
Well, no, but it's going to happen. You said it all this time. He's going to the Saints. He's going to the Saints.
He is. But aside from
they
that,
got Trey Lance. It's okay.
I'll take him too.
Or Zach Wilson.
See, now we're pushing it.
What about Baker
Zach
Mayfield?
Wilson with Dennis Allen? That's nasty work.
Y'all don't want me to be around no more. That's why you're saying that. But
that's some nasty work.
That's sick work.
Oh my God.
Back to the Packers. And you know what? The Packers and the Cowboys, I know the Cowboys are, 10-4, but they're kind of in the same boat of just keep it simple. I know you have the high-paid quarterback. That doesn't mean you have to throw it 40 times every game. That doesn't mean Matt LaFleur has to bend over for Aaron Rodgers and be like...
He's such a bottom. Oh, my God. Bro...
When Rodgers says, I need more passes in the playbook, you're the head coach.
And look what he does with more passes.
You really don't have to do that. You don't have
You
don't have to bow down to Aaron Rodgers, bro. That's what he did. And then right when that happened, remember the Giants game in London? Yes, I know Aaron Rodgers got his thumb hurt too, but right from that moment, Aaron Rodgers said that the Packers lose 5 straight and they're out of playoff position.
Bro's on all fours.
I mean,
it's wild.
I can't disagree. Matt LaFleur definitely should have done a better job, and Mike McCarthy too, your old friend Nico, and Kellen Moore in Dallas. It's the same thing with the Cowboys. And I know Eric's not here. I just want to say this on his behalf. Just keep it simple. Yes, you pay the quarterback because you have to pay the quarterback. That does not mean you need to have the quarterback to have all the credit. You have Zeke. You have Pollard. The Packers. You have Aaron Jones. You have A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon. I think defenses are so happy when they see Aaron Rodgers dropping back to pass 40 times, and A.J. Dillon's just blocking, pass protecting. They're thinking especially in that weather this time of year, they're so happy A.J. Dillon's not running down their neck.
He's a house. He's just a house that blocks instead of gets the ball from Aaron Rodgers. I don't know why. Nico, why is that happening?
He's checked out. He's associated.
My man hasn't moved in 40 minutes.
Sorry, the Jaguars are winning the AFC South. I feel fine.
They are. The Titans are
trash.
Listen, that Sunday game, that's going to be primetime football.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be a great game.
That's going to be a Trevor Lawrence statement game.
Oh, he's winning the MVP next season. You truly can't tell me different.
Doug Peterson.
This dude is quietly having a 30-touchdown season.
You're only as good as your leadership is. I say this all the time. So if you want to go from Urban Meyer to Doug Peterson.
A Super Bowl winning coach?
You say that, I can't believe he had to settle for the Jaguars when he had an interview with my New Orleans Saints, and they were like, no, we'll go with Dennis Allen, who... Congratulations to Dennis Allen, by the way. Finally, career high in wins. 5-9, baby. Career high.
5-9 to the bowl. Let's
career
go Saints.
hallmark moment. Dennis Allen over 5 wins in the season.
Oh my god.
You gotta love it. Shout out to that man.
Oh my god. Other news around the NFL. Jalen Hurts is doubtful this Saturday on Christmas. Christmas Eve, I guess you could say. Game's at 1 against the Cowboys. Vikings, Chiefs wrapped up their divisions. The Bills, Eagles, Cowboys have also all clinched playoff spots.
I know we talked about this yesterday, but 33-0, bro.
Poor Matt Ryan. Poor Matt Ryan.
Is it poor Matt Ryan? I think he's a masochist, if I'm being quite honest.
Was part of the team, rather, that blew the biggest lead in Super Bowl history, and now in NFL history. How do you do that?
Had Falcons fans saying that was the easiest 900 I ever won. And then look what happened.
Oh, yeah, that was great. That was great. And
then he did it again. Matt Ryan.
God.
I'm laughing at everybody because I watched this guy. Obviously, I'm a Saints fan. I watched this guy 2 times a year up close. Everyone was saying, "Oh, the Colts got Matt Ryan. He's a championship caliber quarterback. He's gonna have the Colts back in contention." I'm like, are we watching 2 Matt Ryans? Like, is this the same Matt Ryan we're talking about that I watched? Just like Nico said, noodle arm it up.
To be fair,
especially last year,
the past couple games, he didn't look that great either. He hasn't looked like himself the whole season.
He hasn't looked like himself since he blew that Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
he's ass.
How do you recover from that?
You don't.
Exactly. You don't. You just simply can't.
Who is this guy?
Josh, I got something down here that I need to ask you.
Yeah.
Who's winning the NFC South?
Oh, well, I'm not going to say the Saints. Because every time I've said that, they blow a 16-3 lead to Tom Brady or
well, they can't. They finished I don't think they play them again this season, right?
Yeah, but it still hurts to get swept by Tom Brady. I always welcome a sweep against the Falcons, though.
Normally, you guys whooped his ass in the regular season the first couple seasons. So.
In the 1 year they fall off, we lose both games because Dennis Allen's an idiot in both games. So there you go.
Don't worry. We can still get 2 firsts for Sean Payton, maybe more.
You bring that up now, and there's been reports of like Sean Payton, like, oh, he might come back to New Orleans. Now, the only way that's going to happen is if we get a quarterback like a Lamar Jackson or somebody young like a Trey Lance. But I would rather trade him because we need the draft capital. The Eagles have our pick for some reason.
Yeah, that ain't good.
I mean, we have Olave. I guess that's worth it in some way because he's a stud. But
but no one to throw him the football.
Well, the funny thing too is that Andy Dalton's played well.
Yeah, but he's not your franchise guy. He's not going to be the future.
No, not at all. So if you had to ask me who's winning this division, I'm not picking the Bucs. I refuse. I'm not picking the Falcons. I know the Panthers. Actually, I can't even pick the Panthers because why are you doing losing to Kenny Pickett? Not even Kenny Pickett. Who did they lose to? Was it Mason Rudolph playing or
Trubisky?
They lost to Trubisky.
Yep. Was it? Hold on, I need to see.
It was Trubisky.
Yep. I just want to see how many yards he.
At least one.
179. He went 17 for 22. He didn't throw a touchdown pass. Najee Harris had a running touchdown. Now we kind of killed him.
You know what? F it. I'm gonna say the Saints. Just why not?
Saints country.
Book the Bucs winning it then.
Why not? I was not gonna come in here and pick the Bucs after how they looked the last couple of weeks. I mean, they still might.
Joe Burrow really be walking Tom Brady on the leash, yo.
But he had to give them he gave them the false hope of going up. It's like the Geico commercials. A little bit quicker, up 17-0, and then nope.
Tom Brady really went from goat to bitch in one season. It's really funny.
He should have just went out on top. He really should have.
It's an important lesson to learn to all the athletes and everybody in every walk of life out there. You gotta know, you gotta know when to walk away. Tom Brady, you could have walked away. You had an MVP caliber year. I know Aaron Rodgers won it, but you had an MVP caliber year at 44.
You had Giselle.
You had your wife. You had your family together. Like, I don't know.
You had your kids to kiss.
Yes, that too. On the lips too. Weird.
That's wild.
On a massage table. I'm seeing a correlation here. Maybe he goes to Cleveland next.
It was on a massage table. Wow.
Hold up.
Lotion boys all around the NFL.
His influence is unmatched.
His influence is unmatched.
But listen,
these goats.
According to everything we've seen with the Buccaneers and Tom Brady, you got to know when to walk away. Because this year, even if they do make the playoffs, like they're going to get curb stomped.
I know whoever wins that division is out first round.
They're going to be the
likely.
4th seed. We talk about the Giants might not win a playoff game. If you go up against Tampa,
you might. Probably.
Think about it.
If we go up against Tampa, I still don't believe in us.
Wow.
But the Giants do own Brady in the playoffs.
Correct.
When Eli Manning was there.
So Eli just needs to show up to the game. He just needs to be in spirit.
Nah, after Eli dropped that track when he was in the stew, nah, his legacy went like he lost like -5 for me. Like I was like, this guy
so
can't
funny.
be a Hall of Famer. Nah,
That's so funny.
that was so disgusting.
I'm gonna load that in the vault.
I mean, the drip was calm though. The drip was calm. But when he made that song, I was like, Eli, you're letting me down crazy. But us against Tampa, I still don't see it just because like. I'm a Giants fan, and I'm a Giants fan of pure love. Like, I just love them, but they don't ever really do anything to make my life easy. So it's like, how can I believe you're going to go against...
They won you 2 Super Bowls. What do I have?
You have one. With Joe Namath.
Yeah, exactly. How many years ago, Nico?
You know what's funny? I hear Jets fans, like, bragging about that one Super Bowl win 50 years ago. Bro, are you serious?
Dude, if you go on NFL Shop, Joe Namath is still trending under Jets players. He's still trending.
It's not what you want.
That's embarrassing.
It's not what you want. I mean...
See, like, personally...
Shut your bitch ass up.
I would simply just cheer for a team with great quarterbacks.
Leave the room.
Let's look at the Packers. Bart Starr, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love.
Yes,
Jaguars,
and you rant on all of them. That's all you do.
Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles.
Drew Brees, I miss you. Come home. The kids miss you.
Oh, my God.
Didn't he just get a job with Purdue?
He did.
Yeah.
He's just bored. He's just...
Yeah, he's out here doing side quests. Literally.
NBC, Purdue, assistant coach. Like,
He's vibing, bro. That's what Tom needs to do. Tom needs to just chill.
He won't, though. He needs to, get his life back together in terms of family antics, but I doubt that'll happen.
Yeah.
He's probably going to come back into the season.
He's going to have lotion by his bed every night.
Imagine not having a wife.
He's going to have, don't worry, he has Leonard Fournette to stare at every day.
You know who does have a wife?
Who?
Justin Verlander.
Yes.
Nah,
Kate
Yes, he
Upton.
does. Yes,
Justin-
he
They
does.
had that press conference today. She was looking fine, so...
I'm telling you. Listen.
Only a matter of time till Zach goes over there with all the time he's going to have this offseason when the Jets suck.
Kate's faithful.
Yeah.
Don't play that.
Well,
She's a good woman.
Well, yeah, you know what? I'll
I'm going to
take
just say
your word
this.
for it.
Mets fans, hear me out. And now, the Steve Cohen, I know you're listening because this is your favorite show, right? So, hear me out. We rebrand Miss Met. We rebrand.
Yes.
Rebrand the costume. Just
Yes.
get Kate Upton in there.
Yes.
Just, it's perfect. Just, it will sell Citi Field out. Trust me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think I'll pay attention to the game anymore.
They can honestly go 0-162, and I'd just be happy to watch Kate Upton for 81 games.
Come on now, like she's pumping the crowd up. Like,
Oh,
it'd be
yeah.
Y'all know I'm right.
What do you
Y'all know
mean
I'm
by
right.
that?
That's all I'm saying.
Elaborate.
You know.
Pumping me up.
Let's transition to happy things other than Kate Upton. New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. The New York basketball Knicks. Kind of like the New York football Giants. New York basketball Knicks. Why not?
Why not?
The Knickerbockers.
They won 109-106 at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indiana. The mid-3, as Knicks fans like to call them.
Capital.
As Josh likes to call them.
The
Capital
mid-three,
mid-three.
baby. The mid-three.
They all showed up again. RJ put up 24. Julius Randle put up 25 points. 14 rebounds. Jalen Brunson led the way, 30 points for the Knicks. Knicks have won 7 straight games. Hold on just a moment.
Bing bong, bing bong, bing
Wait, hold on, I have to reload it, Josh. This isn't enough. We need more.
Yeah, for every win.
bing bong, bing bong, bing bong.
7 bing bongs in a row for 7 Knicks wins in a row.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Listen, the New York Knicks, what can you say? Yes, I hope this mid-3 nickname sticks because it's perfect.
It's so perfect.
Because it's a way for me to like dunk on everybody that slammed Jalen Brunson's contract. Like we're talking about him getting Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet money. Jalen Brunson, I'm happy to give him that, and now it's looking like a bargain.
Yeah.
RJ Barrett, who finds a way to stink it up every start of the year.
Better than Donovan, keep that in mind.
Well,
Oh, God.
I can't believe that was said on the
I would
airwaves,
never let
but-
that go.
It happens.
No, 'cause we
no,
can't.
never.
But I got to give RJ credit. I mean, you look at everything. He's a 22-year-old third option that's averaging 20. So I can't argue with that. Julius Randle stepped it up, and that's why I feel better about RJ Barrett not really being the star I saw him being a few years ago. But listen, 7 straight wins. What can you say? I'm kind of mad about tonight's game against the Warriors. I wish Steph Curry was playing just because it's a good litmus test to go up against the champs fully healthy. But still, I'm not gonna complain about it.
Yeah,
Like
but we know what happened last time around. Smoked our boots.
Yeah, and it would be nice have them at the Garden, TNT. You know, get some get back on the national stage, make a statement, get your 8th straight win against the champions, who still have Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, like all those guys. It's really only Steph they're missing. Yeah. So it would be. I'm really excited. I'm kind of nervous because me personally, I've built the Knicks up all my life for them to let me down in games just like this, with the whole it's a national TV game. So it doesn't. You're gonna have Shaq, Kenny, Chuck, and Ernie, you know, doing the halftime. I don't want them clowning the Knicks tonight. Yeah. I don't want that. So get it done. Handle your business, because fully healthy against this Warriors team that's missing the MVP, the 2-time MVP, the Finals MVP, Steph Curry. Get it done. Handle your business.
Yeah. So Knicks still half a game behind Philly for 5th place, if I remember right. Yeah. And like you said, Josh, they'll host Golden State tonight on MSG. Looking for their 8th straight win. Who would have thought? So Josh and Franz, how you feeling as Knicks fans today? Could this team be a threat in the Eastern Conference?
I think as long as Mr. Inconsistent Juju keeps up what he's doing, I do think this team can be a threat. I really do. Now, like Josh was saying, if Curry was playing in this game, it would be a great test. But we also can't deny the fact that Jordan Poole has been balling out. So I feel like it's still a good test if we do pull out this dub. And I think it will put people on notice, because last season, our longest win streak was 9, and we're right around the corner from 9 games. And if we could surpass that win streak and the mid-3 is performing at their top play, people have no choice but to give us our props. Because JB has been on fire since the season started. People know how RJ gets. Every year he's been in the league, he's improved. Whether it's on free throw shooting or field goal percentage, he's improved. Defense was a little shaky at the start of the year, but our whole team is bringing it together. So everybody knows what RJ can bring to the table. JB has shown people he could lead a team. Juju, he's showing people when he is consistent, he's a dog. You know what I'm saying? We can't forget about that season where Juju put us on his back and took us to the playoffs. Now, we didn't do anything, but still, he balled out that whole season. So, yeah, I think people are going to slowly but surely realize, when this team is balling and stuff like that, we're good. And Mitch just hit 500 career blocks. He's a great big for us that people don't give him enough credit for, because he's not that big that stretches the floor like you see a lot nowadays. He's a traditional big, but he does what he has to do. Same thing with Jericho Sims. Comes in, he's going to give you hard minutes. You know what I'm saying? So I think this team has potential to do what they have to do, especially when they work all around. This could be a good team. It doesn't have that one big superstar.
And now that they're winning game, France, now you're looking at ways to improve this team.
Yeah.
And I saw a rumor earlier today. It was from Zach Lowe, who was just talking about OG Anunoby and the Raptors are sliding in the standings.
Stop.
And what do you mean stop?
Don't take my boy.
Nah, listen, the Raptors, I like him on the Raptors. I'm sad he wasn't healthy when they made their run to the finals when Kawhi was there, but listen, if you're the Raptors, you're what? They're 10th in the East right now. That's disappointing for them. Bring me OG. I don't know what gets it done. If you're the Knicks, I don't know if they're interested in all the first-round picks we have to offer. I'm sure they are. Yeah, the 11 first-round picks that Leon Rose won't shut up about. Maybe he can actually use them. Yeah. Get OG, maybe a Cam Reddish. And honestly, I love Obi Toppin, but 2 things are really getting in his way with the Knicks. One, Julius Randle. They play the same position. They can't really play together because they're both strict 4s. So there's that, and then there's the emergence of Jericho Sims. Jericho Sims off the bench, he's a better defender than Obi. He's just as athletic as Obi.
Yeah.
Now, he's not the scorer that Obi is, but I don't know. I'm just, with the recent winning streak and looking at things, because it all comes in cycles in the NBA. You got to look at, one stage of the season, then go to the other. I'm just looking at Obi Toppin. I've said on this show I wouldn't trade him for God. So, I've said that. So, I still kind of feel that way. But if it's for a guy as good as OG Anunoby, who I know would help this team. I know for a fact he would fit in perfectly. He's the perfect Knicks type of player. You gotta start looking at things. Yeah. I don't know.
I wouldn't be mad if you gave up Obi Toppin as well. You know what I'm saying? Because Jericho can do what he does, but better, except for the scoring part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you bring in Anunoby. Now we got a guy who can. First of all, he's lengthy, just like Obi. He's gonna give you a lot of wingspan on the defensive end, and on top of that, he puts up more points than Obi. So you're you're getting somebody of Obi's caliber, but he's more developed. So I feel like he would definitely come in and make a solid impact. And then we have Jericho Sims to fill in for Obi's athleticness, like you were saying. So I think that would be super clutch if we could pull something off like that. And I wouldn't mind like giving away Obi. What about an IQ? What if we throw an IQ in there? How would you feel about that?
I was talking to my Knicks group chat about this because once the Anunoby news came out, we all agreed that we want him. But at the same time, it's like we're going to have to give up a young player along with those picks to get him.
Yeah.
So we were talking about between Grimes, Quickly,
no Grimes,
Obi.
Can't give up Grimes.
Like, out of those three guys, obviously Cam would have to go. But out of those three guys, Grimes, Quickly, Toppin, who would you give up? I'm thinking about it. I'm not giving up Grimes. I'm not.
Yeah.
No way.
No. Not how he's been playing recently.
Yeah. I mean, I'll gladly take him.
As a Raptors,
as the only Raptors fan in the room, I gladly take Quentin Grimes.
I mean, he's a perfect like Raptors type of player, but I don't know. The Knicks deemed him untouchable when the Donovan Mitchell stuff was going on, so I would assume it's the same for Anunoby. And if it's between Quickly and Toppin, if that's the case, and I know it's just speculation, I know Quickly hasn't shot the ball well. I think it's a toss up. I think what Quickly does, he's not shooting well. He's never really been a great efficient scorer, but I mean, defense and 3-point shooting, those guys are valuable, especially at the point guard position. I don't know. I have a feeling the Raptors might want Obi though, if that's the case.
Nah, if we're trading OG and an Obi, it's got to be for Obi.
Yeah, I think Obi's going before IQ because Obi hasn't gotten that groove yet, and I think it's low key Tibbs' fault just a little bit.
Yeah,
because minutes are restricted, but as well like. Obi, like, he's developed his shot more, but he still can't create his own dribble in a league where you got Joel Embiid creating his dribble from the 3-point line. 7'1", like, dribbling the ball like he's a guard, and Obi just can't do that yet.
We screwed up Obi's development.
I think we did big time.
That's definitely true, but when that happens, you can't just go back and change it. You have to face facts. So if he's not fit on this roster, I mean, he's not a Tibbs guy. I would love Obi Toppin getting starter minutes on this team, but for what this coach wants to do, it's not really going to fit. I mean, Obi Toppin, one thing you criticize him for is his defense. I mean, with the way the Knicks are playing right now, they've turned it around after he got hurt, and then Deuce McBride went into rotation for Cam Reddish. They've been so much better defensively guarding the 3-point line. Now, against a team like the Warriors, upper echelon teams like the Celtics, Bucks, teams like that, you're going to need to do that. So I don't really see when Obi gets healthy, what's his role? You're going to sit down Sims with how he's been playing?
Yeah.
Hartenstein? Like, these guys have found their groove. RJ playing with the bench is just tough. But with the Knicks winning, and regardless of what I want, the players I want to see the court, all I want to see from the New York Knicks, number one priority is wins. If you win, I mean, how I want to run the team and how Tibbs wants to run the team is completely don't matter.
Yeah.
If they're winning games, I can't really say anything. So it's going to be important. It's going to be interesting to see how things shake out with that. But let's see if they keep the winning streak going, and then as long as they're winning,
that win column could increase in like these next 5 games. They do have they have the Warriors tonight,
Raptors
tomorrow, Bulls, who we own all of a sudden. Then we got the 76ers and the Mavericks. I think this is a very, it's a good test, these next 5 games. I don't think it's going to be easy, but I do think they're winnable games. Hopefully the refs can help us out with Luka on the 27th, because the refs been on Luka's case recently.
Yeah.
Threw him out, and Jason Kidd.
Because he just bitches too much. You're a great player. Like, you're not going to get all the calls in the world. And the refs be giving him plenty of calls, but you're not going to get all the calls.
At the same time, though, I think the refs are dragging it a little bit with the text they hand out. Like, you seen when he was like talking to his teammate and they teched him up for it?
I'm never going to defend the referee. So, y'all heard on the basketball broadcast. I'm never going to do that. So, did you see that Ja Morant ejection too?
Yeah. Oh my gosh! What are y'all doing, bro? These refs need to get fined or something.
What was Ja
bro.
ejected for, Ja?
For talking to a fan.
Yeah.
Just a regular casual conversation from across the court. Referee's like, "Oh, I don't like that. You're gone."
His reasoning, questioning the integrity of the referee. Wasn't that the reason?
Oh no!
For all these referees,
they come up with the wildest things.
They be so sensitive. Like, God forbid you make a terrible call, and then players are gonna complain about it and call you out. And they have too much power too, because they can just say, "All right, 1 tech, 2 tech, you're out the game." Like, look, come on now.
It's crazy, bro.
Disgusting.
Dr. J would never go for this. He would probably snuff one of them back in the day. I wish we could go back in the day.
Yeah. Imagine what Charles Barkley would do if he was like,
Facts.
yo, I would pay money to see that. Maybe he could still punch a ref like now.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, and then just get fined like $2 million.
Yeah.
And you're never going to play ball again. You might have to go to China.
Shout out my guys at the FCC. I'd be very happy with that.
Let's touch on the Nets real quick, and then we'll go to hockey. So Nets, like the Knicks, have been pretty good as of late. They won 6 in a row, but it's not 7, so we have them there. Well,
as many wins as they have fans. That's great.
That's great. I thought it was 5.
LOL.
Nice.
You like that, Nico?
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
The last 2 opponents, they barely edged around. They got past the Raptors by 3 and then the Detroit Pistons by 3. So Nets are 19-12 on the season, still 4th in the Eastern Conference. Josh, other than KD and Kyrie, has anyone been standing out for the Nets during this win streak?
I mean, not really. And that's the reason why they're only getting barely past the Wizards, the Raptors, the Pistons. Like, we know as long as Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are here, it's going to be their show. We know Ben Simmons is he's a role player. I know he's getting paid under $77 million, but he's a role player. That's what it is. And he's a very effective role player once he accepts that role. But they need help. I mean, yeah, you win 6 straight games. You're finally top 4 in the East. That's what we expected from the Brooklyn Nets when you have 2 top 10, 15 players. We expect that. But they need help. They need help down low. They have enough shooting, I think. They have Seth Curry, Joe Harris, Royce O'Neal off the bench, but they're so small inside. Like, I said it. They are. They need help. They need help. They get babied and bitched every game inside. It's a very glaring weakness. We saw it last year. That's why they lost to the Celtics. Robert Williams and Al Horford made a difference. And you're seeing it again this year. So I don't know who they can trade for. I don't know what bigs are going to be available. I mean, I like Nick Claxton as a player, but I mean, if up against like the Giannis's of the world that you're going to have to get past if you want to win the East. The Al Horford, and I say Al Horford and y'all laugh, but that man turns into a different animal in the playoffs. We've seen it. So when you're going up against those teams, and even the Cavs, I'll give the Cavs with Spider Mitchell some credit too, because they have Jared Allen, they have Evan Mobley, they can play Kevin Love off the bench. Like, I know Ben Simmons, you're paying him like he's supposed to be that guy, but he's just not that guy. You can't expect him based off how much he's getting paid to just magically be that guy when it's winning time. So, yeah, the Nets won 6 straight. I expect them to stay around 4 or 5 in the East, but unless they change what I just said, it's not going to matter. So, and maybe that's me being a hater, but maybe that's also me being just a basketball realist. Like, you need size to win in the NBA, especially in the playoffs. So if they want to win a championship, they're going to have to change that.
Realist, kind of like what I said about the Jets and their quarterback scenario. But no, I'm negative, which I am.
Yeah.
But I'm also a realist, unfortunately.
Size matters.
Yeah. Yep. Nico could tell you that, can't you, Nico?
What?
The confusion. Wow, Nico's face.
Wow, yeah, crazy, bro.
Don't worry, you won't be confused when we talk hockey, Nico. Speaking of which, New York Rangers, just like the Knicks, have won 7 straight. Latest win coming in the form of a 7-1 rout to the Blackhawks. Rangers are 18-10-5 and are the 3rd seed now in the Metropolitan Division. Rangers face Pittsburgh tonight at PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, who have been pretty hot as well lately. Nico, which players have impressed you the most during this win streak for the Rangers, and what do they have to do to keep it going?
Well, the kid line keeps bailing this dude, Gerard Gallant, every game.
Panarin and Fox also did good.
Yeah, they're cute. They're doing their thing, what they should be doing, getting paid all this money. Igor's back.
He never left.
No, he wasn't the stellar goalie that we're seeing right now at the beginning of the season. You can't tell me that. You can't. You can't disagree with me on that.
Because he put up so great numbers that we're never going to see again,
that's
probably.
What I'm saying. He's back to the last year's form a little bit.
I think what he's at right now is normal. It's normal to have a save percentage of .919 and a goals against a 2.39.
But the way that he's been playing on this win streak is equivalent to what he's been doing last year.
Fair enough. They also have 18 wins. He has 16 of them.
Because he's EGOD.
Yes, also because Halak is buns.
He's garbage. So you know who else is garbage still? Jacob Trouba. Still ass. Still getting paid $6 million more than what he should be getting paid.
So he's worth $2 million? That's impressive, honestly.
Yes.
2.4. It would be lower than that.
That was the math I did. He's still ass. So what does this team have to do to keep it going? Keep the kid line in the top 6. Philip Hedl. There was questions of him not playing tonight. He will be playing tonight.
Yes. Thank God.
He was a GOAT against the Penguins last year in the playoffs. I mean, just keep putting pucks on net.
So, I don't even want to talk about Halak.
No, he's asked. No, we don't even have to mention him.
Well,
he won't be back next season. He might not even be here past the trade deadline.
What is his contract? I just need to ask this. What are we paying him?
Maybe a year, 1.2.
I hope that's it. If it's a 2-year contract, I'm going to off myself.
No, it's not a 2-year.
Okay, thank God.
He's very bad. No, Dylan Garand will be our backup next year.
Think of all the... Honestly...
He's great. He's a great
I don't know why Louis Domingue hasn't been in the conversation.
Because
freaking owned us in the playoffs last year for, all of 4 games. And then,
he's still like the 5th best goalie in our organization.
Yeah,
so.
well, if you think Garand isn't ready, then he would probably be the next best option, I would imagine. Right?
Well, yeah, even Domingue, I think, is on a 1-year contract. So
yeah, well, obviously, I would anticipate. I don't think they're going to put him on a 2-year, 3-year contract.
No.
Yeah, they look like the Rangers of last season compared to what I saw. I mean, I know you criticize them, but they are 7-0 since the Trouba helmet toss.
He's still a pylon. There's nothing you can tell me differently. The dude is just a trash can.
Would you criticize him as much if he wasn't being paid at $8 million?
If he was putting up points like he did in Winnipeg, I wouldn't be criticizing.
Well, he's on a goal streak, though.
Still, don't start this. Don't start this.
He's on a 2-game goal streak. That trip against Athanasiou was great, by the way. You have to admit that.
Oh, my God. When Athanasiou said what he said, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
You want to know the funniest part about it?
I sent out the nastiest tweet I've ever sent out in my life.
I
said something.
I'm not going to let you say it on air.
Gruesome things.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. You want to know the funniest thing about that? Because I saw stat comparisons. Trouba has less goals, but he still has more points than Athanasiou.
Yeah, because he's ass. he's garbage.
Like, bro,
he plays for the worst team in the NHL.
Yeah, think about that. What are they, one?
They have 1 win in the last 18, 19 games. Unfortunately, that win's against us from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But it doesn't count anymore.
They're 1-15-1 in their last 17.
Yeah, they're garbage.
How far this team has sunk. The scandal hit and then right off a cliff.
Listen, it's a tankathon for Connor Bedard. Every team's doing it. The Blue Jackets are doing it. The Ducks are doing it really good.
No, the Ducks are just completely underachieving. Well, not underachieving. They just aren't they added talent. We thought maybe they'll be fine. No, right. they have 2-3 wins in regulation.
I think it's still 1.
No, they've won a few in regulation now. It's 2 or 3. But
one of them's against us.
Well, and then I think one's against Montreal, and then another one following that. It's also the end of December.
Yeah, Zegras kind of ass.
Well, they also have a fraud as their head coach. Let's not ignore that. Dallas Aikens for the win. Dallas Aikens or Gerard Gallant?
Tortorella. That's my answer.
He's probably going to destroy the Flyers if that's even...
Oh, you should have started Kevin Hayes that night, not scratched him.
I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean...
The dude's on pace for 76 points?
Something. Well, he's also their best player.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see as the season goes on, but Rangers look good. The Islanders, they lost last night in a shootout, but they look good also. But that's all we have for today on this edition of WHPC Sports Talk. From Josh Umahi, Nico Each, and Franz Capera, I'm your host, Braden Daniela. We'd like to thank you for listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.